Hey everybody, welcome back to Race of History. Today we're going to get into Sabaton's Race to the Sea. This is the music video for it. So the Race to the Sea was the race between the West and Germany as they tried to outflank each other on the Western Front in World War I. The Race to the Sea is a little bit of a misnomer because they weren't actually racing to the sea. It's what it's called, but it's not actually what they were doing. They were trying to outflank each other, and if they got to the sea, then that meant that there were no longer any flanks, and it was just one continuous line of trenches, essentially. So the purpose was not to make it to the sea. It was to outflank the other side and hopefully end the war quickly. But historically, the Race to the Sea is what it's called. I'm going to try to get the next part of the Great Northern War series out later on this afternoon. If I can't get it out by this afternoon because I've got other stuff going on, then I will get it out tomorrow morning. So that should be the latest. But for now, we're going to start with Race to the Sea. Let's get into it.
And the battle horn calls, our life would never be the same. We were looking down the barrel of our gun. Now the war has come and the battle's begun. We are desperate to know the run. To the war drum we'll be marching till it's done. Lead the way, we will follow into the fray. We will hold the line, we will not be led astray. For king and for country, we are flooding the river. Our standard lesser will be the end of the race to the sea. The lobbies of Belgium's free. We're keeping it slipper, are cogging the war machine. October of 1914. That's our foe.
This is very interesting. This was a cool way to do this. So they're standing in the water, right? The reason is because the Belgians' response to the pressure from the Germans was to just flood the region, right? And it was a serious, serious decision that the Belgians had to make. They hold that water out, like purposely, right? And so all they had to do was kind of break their dams and everything flooded. It wasn't actually dams. It was, I can't think of the word for it. But they were holding the water back purposefully. And then once they were pressured to a certain point and realized really that they couldn't hold on, they decided to just flood it, right? And so that's what they did. They flooded it, and then it actually caused the Germans to have to retreat once they realized that there was not going to be a front there anymore. The Belgians had just totally flooded their land.
Forth, we are moving on north, we will never let them have it all. There's a price for freedom paid by Belgian sons. They may take our towns, they may conquer our grounds, we'll defend the nation and the crown. We'll uphold our independence with our guns. All the way on to triumph or to judgment day, we will follow and we will not be led astray. For king and for country, we are flooding the river. Our standard lesser will be the end of the race to the sea. The lobbies of Belgium's free. We're keeping a slipper, are cogging the war machine. October of 1914.
Here it comes. They always let a guitar go nuts in these songs. I really like this one. Do they have another song that's about Belgium? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of all the songs that we've covered on the channel so far. I don't remember one off the top of my head that is specific to Belgium. I can think of almost every other country, I feel like. If there is another one that's about Belgium, let me know, because I can't think of one off the top of my head. But this actually was a pretty, like I said, it was a hard decision for Belgium to make because they were flooding their land, right? I mean, that's a difficult decision to come to. But it worked in the way that they wanted it to work. Like they cut the Russian offensive off, basically, and they kind of ended this race, right? By flooding it, they kept the Germans from being able to outflank the West or the British and the French. And the Belgians were being pushed back. That could have potentially been a turning point for the Germans, where they could have turned a flank, and with the Belgians being pushed back there, and the Belgians flooded it, and then that was it. They made the decision that in order to save the war, they would kind of sacrifice their land. And not just to save the war, but to keep the whole country from being overrun by Germany. Right? Like that was a real possibility. So it's a really cool story.
See a king and a soldier fighting shoulder to shoulder. See a king and a soldier fighting shoulder to shoulder. He overruled his commanders. He made a last stand defenders. We see a king and a soldier fighting shoulder to shoulder to keep the last piece of Belgium free. All the way unto triumph or to judgment day, we will follow and we will not be led astray. For king and for country, we are flooding the river. Our standard answer will be the end of the race to the sea. The last piece of Belgium's free. We're keeping a sliver, a cog in the war machine. October of 1914. For king and for country, we are flooding the river. Our standard answer will be the end of the race to the sea. We're free. For king and for country, we are flooding the river. No more of our country lost. The land will be held at our cost.
Man, I really liked that one. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that at least, I'm not sure exactly where the water that they let in was coming from, but if my memory serves me correctly, some, if not all, of the water that they let in was salt water, right? I believe that was the case. If that is the case, like I said, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, because I am not 100% on this. If that is the case, then not only did they flood the region, but they basically gave up their ability to have any agriculture for a while, right? I mean, this is something in ancient history. When a power wanted to really, really devastate a region, they would sow salt into the earth so that crops couldn't grow there going forward. Flooding your own country with salt water is essentially doing the same thing. Yeah, it's like I said, it's really kind of an incredible story. That was a great song. What a great topic to do. But yeah, that was Sabaton's Race to the Sea. I will put the Discord link down below if you guys want to continue these conversations over there. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Help me keep building the channel over here, and I will see you all next time.